Yeah, we back in the building. We back in the building. Y'all already know what to do. Once y'all come in the building, man, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I don't know what you waiting on. Hold on, let me look. What are you waiting? Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel, champs. But we got to talk about this this witness that took the stand today. One of Danity Kane. You know, she was a member of Diddy, bad boy. She was down with dirty money, whatever, whatever. Her name is Dawn. Dawn took the stand today. She kind of testified again. Well, not kind. She actually did. And she basically was saying that she witnessed allegations and witnessed allegedly situations that happened with Cassie and Diddy. You know, with him putting his hands on her, this, that, and the third, allegedly. Well, she took the stand on that. But see, something backfired on her because Diddy lawyers came back and they hit her with something. That part. They hit her with a question she had to answer back, and it kind of messed up her whole testimony. And we're going to get to that part. And we got Big Gene walking in the building. Y'all know who Big Gene is? That's the bodyguard that been on a rant for like 20, 25 years, allegedly telling the truth about the things that he's seen and the things that he think happened. The night that Biggie Smalls passed away, he actually thinks that Diddy had something to do with that situation, allegedly, just according to Big Gene. Well, he walked in the building today in that court. Is he going to take this on stand and give us a testimony with all these years he's been going at Diddy and saying Diddy, he been doing this and Diddy doing this? And because Big Gene been talking about a lot of this shit before this shit hit the internet, to be honest. He's been speaking about this shit almost 25 years ago, Big Gene. So is he going to take the stand? We got to talk about all this, man, because it ain't looking too good for Diddy right now. But as far as the Dawn situation, the chick that's Danity Kane, the female that took the stand, whatever, she kind of messed her whole testimony up. And I'm going to explain why. Smash that like button. Let's get this copyright out the way, man. Let's get the show started. Yo, 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 yo. If they know, they know. It's your boy Smoke News TV. We back in the building. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Share this video. Make sure you keep that notification bell on. Shout out to all my members that got their membership. Team Smoke, Smoke Gang. Shout out to all my supporters that have been supporting the channel since day one. Make sure you share the video and smash the like button. That junk is free, champs. It ain't gonna hurt you. If you want to donate to the channel, the banner's right there, Cash App. You can also donate by the thank button on the channel. Let's get this copyright out the way. Copyright fair use disclaimer. You can find it in my description on my channel, on this channel. Everything that I speak on over here is for educational and entertainment purpose. Again, copyright fair use disclaimer. You can find it in my description on my channel. Everything that I speak on over here is for educational and entertainment purpose. The clips and videos I play also owned by the original creators. So, I mean, it's a whole bunch of madness going on in the court, man. As far as the thing that we're hearing from the news and the people outside that's covering it inside the courtroom, the reporters and this and that, But the main thing, the main focus was Dawn, the lady that took the stand today that was part of Bad Boy Records. She was part of the Danity Kane, whatever group, and the Dirty Money group. But see, she kind of messed her testimony up because she actually said something. And then when the lawyers, Diddy representatives, the people that represent him, they came after her. Was like, yo, how many times you met with the prosecutor? How many times you gave them so many different stories? That part. We're going to go over the news clip about that situation. Because it's a little bit of things that's actually helping Diddy, and it's certain things that's not helping Diddy. But when you got witnesses on the stand that's giving you what he say, she say, without no proof of evidence, no pictures. Now they said they showed like 3 pictures. I can't show them on social media. You could definitely go on the internet and probably check them out. But they actually showed like 3 pictures of some bruises that Cassie had. But who was we to say that happened from Diddy? Who was we to know that happened from Diddy? Do they got a camera phone? Do they got phones of her taking the bruises of that night with the date and the time that she was with Diddy that night? Because a lot of people are starting to think that maybe her and her husband later on in life kind of planned this, was like, you know what, we're going to get them back. Because you got to remember, she got with her husband, 2000, she started dating this dude like, 2018 around there, 19 around there? Might have been a little bit sooner than that. She never ran to the police, never ran to the feds, never ran to nobody. She continued going through the abuse and the verbal abuse and freak off parties and all this while she was going with her husband. FaceTiming Diddy while she in bed FaceTime her husband while she on bed with Diddy. Y'all done seen all the testimony that she said that was true. So that tells me her husband was down with this situation also to get back to Diddy, get back on Diddy for some money several years later. Now, her husband wasn't around in the beginning of the time when the shit first happened, but I'm talking about when she got with the nigga. The nigga sat back and was like, listen, you gotta remember, the dude that she with, he wasn't a millionaire when she first got with him, Cassie. And I think the nigga was a trainer, matter of fact. So you know Cassie was over there leaning on this nigga's shoulder, telling this nigga everything. Cry me a river, all types of shit. She's pouring, crying to this nigga. They end up kumbayaing together. She telling this nigga, I can't completely be with you because I still got a bond with Diddy, but we can still be together, but we got to keep it a secret. This is between Cassie and her man. And we're going to go through this because DJ Academic actually has he had a great point about this. He sat back and planned this shit against Diddy. Now, I'm not saying I'm on Diddy's side, but I'm just saying, though, they got back on Diddy on the money tip. And Dawn messed her testimony up also. The lady that took the stand today, she said that she took a lot of money from Diddy, not to say stuff that she's seen and everything for several years. Come on, man. It was the money thing also. And I'm not going to sit here and say I condone the Diddy put his hands on everybody. But we can't believe everybody that's saying something because everybody wanted a bag from Diddy also. Oh, you think I'm lying? I'm gonna say this and that. You think Diddy want that kind of public on his name at the time? Now you already got 1, 2, 3 going on. So that you got copycat people. People want to get the money also. So they'll make something up. The threat Diddy. Like, listen, I'm gonna make this up and I seen it. You're gonna give me a bag. Diddy pays so many people. And it makes it look like it's evidence of truth of what Diddy did, but also you got to understand, Diddy didn't want a lot of this shit, a lot of the lies also out in the public. You don't want that type of heat all the time. Some people actually lie, some people actually telling the truth. And I agree with the people that's telling the truth that witness a lot of things. Diddy's not an angel. We all know that. We heard these type of stories back in the days. I sit back out, wait, am I lying? For the older people. How many times we've been hearing this story about Diddy putting his hand? Allegedly. This nigga was putting his hands on J-Lo. Back when they was dating. See, there wasn't no social media, none of that shit. Big Gene Ben said that. He said, man, him and J-Lo, they should go at it in the hotel. Be fighting all in the room. And Big Gene saying J-Lo wasn't no angel either. She had a little madness with her too when she used to drink. So you gotta understand, sometimes girls bug out. Sometimes the girls they be physical also. It goes both ways, champs. Come on now. We just can't always believe every goddamn story that every girl take to stand. That's like the Bill Cosby situation. These niggas brought ladies from 1972, and all these ladies lined Bill Cosby up speaking about some stories back in the 70s. And we sat back and we actually gonna believe all them ladies that were saying them stories about the 70s on Bill? Come on, man. You can't believe every goddamn witness. Certain witness was going for the bag also. So we got to keep both eyes open on this case. You just can't be on one lane. Boom. Okay, I believe all of them on this side. Nah, a lot of people lie also, that part. A lot of people do lie, and a lot of people was down with the shenanigans, man. Let's continue, though. Then you had Cassie girlfriend taking a stand. We're going to get to the news clip with that. Talk about her and Cassie stopped being friends because she said allegedly Diddy put hands on her and Diddy paid her $30,000 to keep it hush hush. But but after the $30,000, she ended up not being friends with Cassie no more. Because she allegedly said that, she witnessed Diddy putting hands on Cassie, and actually allegedly Diddy put hands on her also. This is what the lady right here in the picture said on the stand. This is nasty work, man. This is nasty work. Then you got people saying that former assistant testified he had 5 girlfriends, including Cassie and Kim Porter, alleged he overheard Diddy calling Cassie a young and he molded her. Basically, he molded younger, and we all know that when she was young. All right, y'all wanna say that? Oh, nah, that's the point right there, Smoke. She was young. Okay, let's go to one of our favorite rappers out, Jay-Z. When did he get with Beyonce? That part. I sit back out, wait, hold up. Actually, let me light one up for that. Yeah, let me light one up for that one right there. Yeah, since y'all want to say this situation right here is, oh, nah, that's the point. Nah, and I know the females gonna be like, nah, Smoke, that ain't right. That ain't right, Smoke. You know, listen, I know that ain't right, but that ain't right on Diddy behalf, that ain't right on Jay-Z behalf, and that ain't right on all them other niggas that been on behalf when they was dating all them young girls back in the days. The Aaliyahs and all that shit. Come on, may baby girl rest in peace, man. May her soul rest in peace. But come on, let's not forget about Jay-Z and his wife over here when he first met her. I sit back and wait. What y'all gonna say? Oh, he got with her when she was 18. How old was Jay-Z though? That nigga was 30 years old. Yeah, I'm gonna pause for a little bit. I sit back and wait. I'm gonna let that marinate in your brain and your soul right quick. Allegedly, Beyonce was 18, about 19, about 20, nigga. Go. I've been did videos about this. Go check it out. They appeared on the MTV Music Award in 2000. That's how Beyonce's career took off, because Jay-Z ended up being executive producer to an album. You know, that's how she was. Come on, he was featured on all her singles and all that. Go back to memory lane. Beyonce was young as hell. But nobody never looked at that shit crazy though back then. People probably looked at it at the time like, oh nah, that shit ain't right. But it wasn't no social media. There wasn't no going to the platform like, yo, Jay-Z bugging. We ain't had all this that we got now back in 2000 when he was dating Beyonce when she was young, meaning Hove. Shout out to my boy Hove, but we got to be fair here now. We can't just be putting everything on Diddy over here. It's other niggas are allegedly out there that, come on, they was doing the same thing. Let's what are we talking about here? Like I said, when you climb them ladders, like I like to tell y'all, and you go through one of them doors, there's certain things you just have to do. And one of them things they was doing from Beyonce at the time was letting Jay-Z be the producer and get her career boosted. Remember, she left Destiny Child and became solo. Jay-Z jumped in the picture. They put them together. Bam! Jay-Z took off with her career. Am I lying? I sit back and wait. Next thing you know, you get the Bonnie and Clyde, all that shit, the singles with her and Jay-Z. Come on, man. She was about 21 years old when she started getting a little older. But y'all gotta remember, Hov was already in his goddamn 30s already. And when he first allegedly got with her, they said she was what, 19 around there? Y'all want to push it an extra year? Yeah, 19, I guess. Come on, man. Diddy, my point is, Diddy ain't the only nigga that was doing this. And look, Dawn was taking money, all about the money. She said, yeah, she was taking money. Lawyer asked her, all that meant being paid money? Dawn answered yes. Let's get to it, man. Let's get to the news clip, man. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, man. Y'all already know the vibes.
Here in New York City, the second week of testimony in Sean Combs' sex trafficking trial is underway. Dawn Richard, a former member of Combs' all-girl group Danity Kane, just wrapped up her time on the stand. Richard spoke about different times that she witnessed Combs allegedly attacking his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura over the years, including a time in 2009 when Richard alleges Combs hit Ventura with a skillet in his Los Angeles home. Ventura detailed the alleged abuse and drug-fueled freak-offs that she allegedly endured over 4 days of grueling testimony last week. NBC News entertainment correspondent Chloe Malas joins me now with the very latest. So, Chloe, Richard alleges that she saw Combs abuse Ventura, but the defense really trying to poke holes in her story now. So walk us through some of the key moments from her testimony today.
Hey there, Vicky. So Dawn Richard, she was a former member of two different bands, Danity Kane and Diddy Dirty Money. She knew Combs for several years, and all of those years he was dating Cassie Ventura at the time. And she described different occasions in which she saw alleged abuse. She claims that Combs once attempted to hit Ventura over the head with a frying pan. She also talked about how she saw Combs punch Ventura in the stomach at a dinner that they were attending. But what you just said is very interesting because, yes, I was in the courthouse today. I was watching what was going on. And Combs' defense attorney, who cross-examined Dawn Richard, said, you've met with government prosecutors 8 times over the last year and a half. And over the course of those 8 meetings, you've changed your story at least 4 times when it comes.
I sit back, I'll wait. That's not good. You won't stand over there. Yeah, I seen Diddy do this. I seen Diddy do that. But you go on the stand, Lord, like I told y'all on my last Diddy video that I did on Friday, that I put out Friday. I told y'all his lawyer's gonna come back and say, well, you changed your story so many times and you took so much money from Diddy. How can you be a reliable witness on that stand? How can the juries actually believe you on that stand? Let's continue though with the news clip. And I'm gonna continue what I have to say. I'm telling y'all, they put in I know people in my comments saying, Smoke, they building a case. They starting off domestic. They trying to show how he's a monster. Okay, we understand that. But see, the thing is, if y'all really Diddy fans, and y'all really been following this bad boy legacy since they've been born, and y'all been hearing what Tupac said back in the days, and Suge Knight said back in the days. This shit been going on for years. There ain't nothing new what Diddy been doing. Nothing. As far as at the domestic violence part, as far as him dating several females and certain females get jealous and next thing you know, Diddy's having a whole bang out with the female in the club. We heard these stories back in the 2000s. Diddy arguing with his baby moms back in the days. They throwing bottles at each other. There's what people been talking about this shit for years. So the reason why I said you can't believe everything that these females say, because certain females was jealous also because Diddy was dating multiple females. Some of them was jealous, like a Cassie. Why Cassie kept listening? Let's continue with the news clip because I got a lot to say, man. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel.
Over the course of those 8 meetings, you've changed your story at least 4 times when it comes to multiple incidents. And Richard acknowledged that her story has changed. And she said that it's really just about her memory, that she tried to block all of these things out, and that she's been trying to remember in all of these meetings with prosecutors has helped her. But it was not good for her that her story has changed so many times. And then they also doubled down on the fact that she has filed her own civil suit seeking money from Combs.
Chloe, we know Cassie Ventura's former best friend. He's also testifying today. What has she said so far?
So her name is Carrie Gordon, and when Cassie Ventura was on the stand last week, she talked a lot about this friend of hers that witnessed a lot of the abuse and that this was someone that she confided in. And Miss Gordon, she's already taken the stand for a few hours. Right now they're on a lunch break and she's expected to return this afternoon. And she said, look, I don't really even want to be here. I was given a subpoena. I'm forced to be here to testify. I haven't spoken to Combs or Miss Ventura since 2018, and that's because Combs assaulted me. She claims that Combs allegedly choked her and hurt her with a clothes hanger, and that he actually paid her $30,000, and that she hasn't spoken to him since.
Chloe Molas live outside the courthouse. Chloe, thank you.
Thanks. Bingo. Now I understand. Hold up, Smoke. Why you saying bingo? Now, I'm gonna tell y'all why right quick. Now, if the friend took the $30,000, right, and Diddy put her hands, and allegedly Diddy assaulted her, why Cassie and leave also? You know why the girl stopped talking to Cassie, her ex-best friend, probably, if she's telling the truth? Because she probably told Cassie, girl, you need to get the hell out of that goddamn relationship and come on, let's get out of here. Why didn't Cassie ain't leave? And y'all gotta remember, 2018, Cassie was mingling with her husband that she went now. Her and her husband was building a whole case of a big ass lawsuit. Remember, Cassie got what, $20 million before this trial and all this started, when it first started. Diddy gave her $20 million to be quiet or some shit like that, and she asked, come on, man, what are we talking about here? I'm not condoning what Diddy did. But it's the karma that's coming back to him. They emptying out his pocket. They kept him. Like you just heard Dawn. You just heard the lady saying that Dawn was up there putting out silver suits, getting crazy money out of Diddy, so Diddy could pay her to keep her mouth shut. Certain things was lies. Certain things probably was the truth. We don't know. But you gotta understand, nah, Smoke, why you gonna pay people though if it's lies though? Some people just don't want to go through the process of the narrative of the rumor that you're trying to put out there and gotta deal with it. So they'll just give you a little bit of money and be like, man, shut the hell up, man. Some people just don't want to go through that court process. Some people don't want to, they don't got time for that shit. So they'll just give you money, even if you lie sometimes. A lot of celebrities do that shit. A lot of celebrities still give money off them silver suits, even if the case is a lie, because they don't want to go through the whole process. After a while, if they got time, they'll be like, nah, this one we gonna take to court. I got time today, nigga. But everything that a person get money off on silver suits on suits and all that, whatever, when you suing somebody, that shit don't mean they actually telling the truth every goddamn time. Sometimes the celebrity just don't want to go through the process and go through that headaches and all that, so they just give a little bit of change. They're hoping they just shut their mouth up. But if they continue doing the same thing, now there might be a problem. That's what was going on with Dawn. She thought that she could continue doing that shit. Diddy stopped giving her money. Then she started jumping on these platforms, started saying this and that. Then she backed her story up saying that no, it wasn't true. She lied so many goddamn times that she's not a reliable witness on the stand. Meaning Dawn, the lady that took the stand today, not her friend, the girl that was part of Danity Kane and all that shit, whatever, and Dirty Money. She's not a reliable witness. She could barely even remember anything. She's saying that, come on, did a lot of shit she was making up so she could get bread out of Diddy. But I know a lot of people gonna say, nah, Smoke. But if I want to be paying though, man, if your schedule was busy as hell all the goddamn time, you don't got time for them headaches sometimes, bro. You just give them a little bit of cash and be like, man, homie, take that. Shut your goddamn mouth. We don't got time for that. Especially if it's somebody that used to work for you, that you trying to help. Because remember, Dawn went through a whole chaos through her life. Y'all can do your research on her. She's not all good up top in the head, allegedly. She went through a little bit of up and down in her life a little bit. And she kind of blamed Diddy, I guess, and blamed, nah, she ain't save her money right, that part. Because not everybody in Danity K is broke like Dawn is. That's why she kept trying to get bags out of Diddy. So how is that a reliable witness on the stand? How can the jurors believe her on the stand? Y'all messing the case up, like I continue saying. The only image that's looking bad is the abuse and all this we hearing out these people's mouth, but no proof though. We got one video clip of Diddy putting his hands on Cassie in that hotel. That's it. All the other shit, we don't got no proof. And I don't want y'all to say, I'm repeat myself. I don't condone Diddy if he did all that. But when you in court, you got to prove all that. You can't go by mouth. And you got a non-reliable witness on the stand that you think the jury's going to believe her, meaning Dawn. And then Cassie messed up that first week. Listen, so far we getting the image that, okay, Diddy put hands and feet on these people, on these females. My thing is, this is a RICO charge, not a domestic violence charge. My thing is, you wasting time. You got to come with the criminal charges first. Let's come with that and then come with the sad story later on at the end to put the icing on the cake. That's what they supposed to have done. Because the two reliable witnesses I had on the stand, and some people in my comments say, nah, Cassie ain't the main witness. I don't know how she ain't the main witness when she was the girlfriend for decades. We don't got the Kim Porter here no more. Kim Porter, man, her rest in peace. She would have been the main witness if she was alive and she wanted to take the stand and she wanted to tell her story. So who falls back in line after Kim Porter? Cassie. She was with Diddy for all them years. Like I'm going to tell y'all, she got addicted to the lifestyle. The abuse shit, we don't condone that. But the lifestyle you was living, mama, you got addicted to that shit. There's text messages and everything you telling Diddy when the next freak off you're going to have. How much you enjoyed it and this and that. That was last week when it was in court. That showed you enjoyed every bit of it. You participated in every bit of that freak off show y'all was having at Diddy parties. Come on. And you was bringing, come on, there's people saying she was bringing females along to the party. Watch when Diddy team got their witness and they start bringing people on the stand that's going to represent Diddy, and y'all going to see how nasty this shit really going to get. Watch. We just hearing they side right now. When Diddy team bring they people on the witness stand and start, man, listen, it's going to be a whole different story in there. But we had Big Gene that walked in the building. Is Big Gene going to be one of the guys that's going to take the stand? The ex-bodyguard? Peep this out.
This is Diddy's former bodyguard. We gotta proceed with caution. He will body slam my ass. But I'm gonna say, can we get a scoop?
How are you? I was just watching you last night. That's crazy. Thank you. I just saw your
Hey
video.
sir, good morning. How are you? Happy Monday.
Are you testifying?
Can we get a scoop or anything new?
So what brings you in today?
Anything that used to happen that you might have seen?
Wow.
That you just willing to say? Okay. We got a reaction. That's cool. I can deal with that.
Diva.
Is Big Gene going to take the stand? With all the platforms he been on, with all the stories he had on his channel, shout out to Big Gene. But is you going to take the stand and give up this and tell him the stories that you see with him and Kim Porter and all these other celebrity ladies he was dating? Good question. Good question for you, Gene. Because you said you seen a lot. You been there. You was there for the J-Lo relationship. You was there for the Kim Porter relationship. You was there for a lot of relationships that this nigga was involved in. We're not talking about the Biggie Smalls and all that. Those are the criminal charges now. Now, when they start bringing murders and shit like that in this case, this one is just going to get nasty. Right now, we just getting domestic. That's all we getting. But see, I'm telling y'all, we been heard about this shit. This nigga wasn't partying being an angel, nigga. Nah, we been heard this nigga putting hands and feet on his girlfriends back in the days, his baby mom. We been heard of. Man, listen, them shits was on. You had one thing back in the days. Breaking news on something on magazines. You ain't had too many channels. You ain't had too many TMZs back in the days. You ain't had those. But we always got that word or the narrative, the story. We always heard about it. It was this old goddamn interviews, if you can find them, of P. Diddy doing this shit back in the days. It's just nasty now because of the social media. It's nasty now because now they threw the RICO charge, which we still waiting on with the criminal activity. Where's the sex trafficking at? I heard somebody in the comment, he paying prostitutes and all that. Okay, we understood that. We already know about that. But I'm talking about getting real deep into it. The younger, allegedly underage girls he supposed to had in his party and all that. Where's the witness to talk about all that? Nah, smoke, that shit coming later. Why is it going to come later? Come now with it. You got these non-reliable ass witnesses that's taking a stand right now. You got Dawn up there that straight up be lying so many times to the prosecutors. She's not reliable. She was a waste of day today. Let's put it that way, that part. What are we talking about? They don't waste their tax money on that lady going on the stand up there talking about what she's saying, and then she told the prosecutor 5, 6 different stories throughout the years. She was a waste of time. Who's next? We man, listen, man. If y'all trying to put a RICO on this man, y'all gotta bring some more, man. Y'all gotta bring some criminal charges involved right now. Enough of the sad story of domestic violence and trying to, because he ain't the only monster out there in the industry that does this. So let's cut it out right here, man. Let's get deep to the case. Let's hear about the criminal activities he's involved in. Nasty work. But let's hear what Sean said when he always paid Cassie, meaning Diddy, to shut her up. She never left the relationship because, like I said, she got addicted to that lifestyle.
They had to talk. They were together for 5 years. He would assault her. They had to talk. They were together for 5.
Let's get to academics first. Peep this out.
They had to talk. They were together for 5 years. They knew if we open up Pandora's box, yes, we could get the bread, but you're going to hear a lot of shit. Yo, when that 20 million wire came in 24 hours, that nigga had to mentally prepare. Yo, it's hundreds of niggas that ran up in her. It is what it is. Nigga, you was never going to make 20 million in this lifetime, the next and the 50th later. Bruv, like the nigga he watched his girl get $20 million in 24 hours from this nigga. You think he's like, oh my God, he don't know shit? Like, come on, bro. He ain't leaving. You crazy. If anything, he just want to see Diddy go to jail for life. I think the way he could get over some of this shit is if Diddy is dead or Diddy, like, put it like this. I've said, like, this is man shit. If you one of them territorial niggas, you ever said to a girl, and she talking about like either, I don't know, whether she has kids with a nigga or whatever, like her with another nigga, you be like, yeah, I ain't gonna trip as long as that nigga dead. That's what I think the nigga's feeling. If Diddy's dead or in jail for life, he don't give a fuck. But if Diddy beat the case and he's over here like the P, the D, the I, doing all that bullshit, still being a billionaire, fucking other bitches, basically like laughing at the fact that he took Cassie's whole 20s, doing all type of shit, yeah, he gonna be tight a little bit. But if Diddy go to jail for life, trust me, he gonna sleep a little bit better. I guarantee he ain't leaving her. They had
You go to jail for life or any type of 20 years, that man can sleep better. Meaning Cassie boyfriend. Cassie boyfriend got involved in this and told her, like, listen, we gonna get this nigga at the end of the road for a lot of money. Because y'all gotta remember, Cassie's not a star. That 20 million that he wired her and all that shit, that's the most that she ever gonna see for the rest of her life. Diddy spent so much money on that girl's ridiculous, but making that type of money on your own, she ain't gonna see that. So why not go for the hit Diddy with the okie doke right quick before we go to trial, man? I need that 20 mil, whatever. Her and her boyfriend all down with it. Come on, man. They was down with it since 2018 till now. And there's nothing wrong with that because it's karma. If Diddy was putting his hands and feet all on Cassie, doing all that, and this the nigga that she cried to, the trainer and all that, man, that nigga knew what he was doing. That nigga was a trainer. He used Cassie too. He said, man, I'm about to link up with her. She got a sad story. We about to make millions out of this nigga. That's exactly what homie did. Nothing wrong with that, though. He just played his position and played it very smart. That part. A lot of people, that's why I say academics is actually right about that. This nigga played in the cut and played it the whole time. Like, you know what? We're going to get this money out of this nigga before he go to trial, before they even put a RICO on him. And he was actually involved in it. Because him and Cassie would take him they ain't never going to see $20 million in their lifetime. Let's be serious. But they got that $20 million off of Diddy, though. He was down with it. Nothing wrong with it, though. He played his position like any nigga would play his position. They seen the money sign on Cassie. They seen the sad because she's going to write a book. After she gave birth to her baby, books about to come out. All types of shit about to come out, y'all. Everything about Cassie about to start dropping all types of crazy shit. I'm telling y'all. Documentaries, everything. Everything. And you know who's going to eat right on the side of her? You know who's going to be? Yeah, her husband right there. That was down with it since 2018. Nothing wrong with it. I might got the year wrong. Correct me if the year ain't right. But they've been kumbaya since 2018, 2019 around there, I think. Probably before that. Meaning Cassie and her husband. Come on, man. Last week, she said that she was on FaceTime with the nigga while Diddy was on the bed. Let's continue. Here's what Sean had to say.
He would assault her, then he would, take her on shopping sprees. And so I saw that in Paris. He spent like $500,000 like in one day shopping for her. And then, after I left.
She was around back then?
That's 2012.
Oh, 2012. Okay, yeah.
2012.
Yeah, gotcha.
That's what I'm saying. That was the first attempt at reconciliation after I got out.
Mm-hmm.
I got out in 2009. Mm-hmm. And then it took a couple of years before I said, but I felt he owed me something. And so it's like, he probably gave me like 50 racks. And I'm like, you can't be serious. Like, that's 10 years, 50 racks. Like, he would have
played his artist, but spent all this money on his females. You know why? Because he keep them quiet. Did he keep his females quiet? The Ken Porters, the Cassies, the Cassie, the list goes on, the J-Los, all that. Don't think him and J-Lo wasn't in that hotel room getting in, boxing. There was rumbling in that room too. Big G said he witnessed that. He was in front of the door. That's why I said, is Big G gonna take the stand and bring a lot of that old shit, old relationship that Diddy was involved in, and allegedly putting hands and feet and going they in there fighting in the hotel room. Allegedly him and J-Lo and a couple other females he dated. Is Big G gonna take the stand on that? Because so far, like I said, the witnesses y'all got on there, they unreliable right now. They terrible. Dawn was a terrible witness to that. She was a waste of time. Once they hit her with you get it prosecuted like 5 different stories throughout the years. Bingo, right there. Your story not unreliable no more on the stand. What are we talking about? Come on, you got to bring some reliable people, man. Let's get the big Gene, though. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to Gene, man.
How you feel about Cassie testifying that Diddy would take her phone, iPad, and computer for punishment?
Like she was a kid, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, damn.
Puff treated her like a kid, so she could, you know, they took that so she couldn't get in contact with nobody, bro. Let nobody know. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't just a punishment that she did something. How you do something wrong? You're a grown woman. That's probably after one of them freak offs and got one of those beatings that now she can't take pictures with her iPhone, and now she can't take pictures or put nothing and show somebody and save it. First thing happened. Look, Kim Porter comes up dead. You don't see no iPhone, no computers, no nothing. Why? Did the security take her stuff? All this shit is going to open up a whole can of worms on some other things.
That was good right there from Gene. When she passed away, is there any possibility of abuse marks on her from Diddy, meaning Kim Porter? May her rest her soul, rest in peace, baby girl. But is there any, where's her phones at? Meaning Kim Porter. Like Big Gene said at the end of that interview, end of that clip right there. They got all that shit. When they went to the house and raided the house, grabbed all that shit when she passed away, whatever. Is there anything on her phone? There's anything that the possibility that the feds got and all that is going to come out later on this trial? Because see, that's the part right there I'm talking about that's criminal now. Now we got witness. Now we got somebody that he was with and had a baby with, Kim Porter, that left the phone and probably got pictures of her being marks on her from being abused from Diddy. It's possibility. Or we might get a video of her talking about it. We don't know. Where's Kim Porter her phones and computers and laptops and shit like that? Who got possession of that shit after Kim Porter passed away? That's a good question. Ain't it, y'all? I'm going to let y'all sit back and think on that. Let that marinate in your brain. Who got that? Now, if Kim Porter had an all-tell book coming out, what make you think she ain't got shit on her phone and nothing like that? Laptop or nothing like that? Tablets or something? Who got possession of that shit? Did he destroy that shit? Did the feds got it and they holding it? I'm telling y'all, man. It's getting nasty right now. I'm telling. That's the criminal shit that's gonna start coming out there. Now you're gonna start. They're gonna try to start connecting them allegedly on conspiracy type shit involving these little situations that been going on around them. The Kim Porters and shit like that. Cause so far, man, let me tell y'all something. Y'all have to agree. We don't went past one goddamn week and we ain't hear nothing criminal besides domestic. That's a state charge, not a RICO charge. Now we're in the beginning of the second week and we still getting the same shit. But this time they put an unreliable witness on the stand that lies so many times and try to say her memory is always messed up. So how can the juries believe anything that you actually say? Let's continue.
Speaking of Albie Shore, how you feel about that interview he did some days ago where he said that he believed that Diddy was behind him having organ failure and him being in the coma?
Well, Al is my man. Me and Al is cool. So Al is a good dude. You know what I mean? And if Al believes that, I believe that Al believes that. And I think it may have some truth to it because Puff may have used somebody to give Al something that could have caused that. There's a possibility.
So you think Diddy is that powerful that he can have something like that done from a distance?
Bruh, let me just tell you something, man. He must got proof, bruh. Because you got to realize Al is famous. Puff is famous. You can't make statements like that unless you got some proof. And I believe Al got some proof on that.
Is Albie Shore going to take the stand? These are, see, See, now when you start getting into that part, start bringing the Big Gene on the stand, start bringing Albie Shore on the stand, start bringing other people. And I know a lot of people gonna say, nah, this early smoke. But see, they should have did that since day one. You gotta paint an image. And I know they wanted to do Cassie because they said Cassie was giving birth soon. So that's why they wanted to get Cassie out the way. So that's that's understandable. We could deal with that because Cassie was gonna give birth, so you want to get a statement on the stand right away, get it out the way. We understand that. But see, the only thing y'all doing, y'all painting a little monster, but there's several monsters in the industry just like Diddy. There's no difference. Y'all just didn't catch them niggas yet, I guess, if I want to say it that way. But y'all just painting domestic violence charges. Y'all painting a state charge more than a RICO charge at the beginning of this trial. You seen my last video. The reporter said, man, people was walking out of that goddamn the first week. Because the reporter said, man, that's nobody want to hear that sad shit. Hear what I'm trying to explain to y'all. The video that I played Friday for y'all, when you hear the reporter on my clip that said that people was walking out, reporters was walking out because they was getting tired of domestic talk that they was talking about. They say they're there for the criminal shit. They want to hear them spicy shit. You know why they said that? Because that domestic shit that Diddy allegedly been doing, that shit been going on for years, man. For years. It's not a spicy story. They want to hear the criminal activity stories. What he's involved in. Murders. Banks. Anything. Nigga putting bags on people's heads and all that. They want to hear that type of shit. Those are RICO charges. Is that going to come down the line? We don't know yet. So far, it don't look like it's going to happen. I'm being honest. I'm being honest. Because if we get a whole week of these people just talking about how much he put his hands on them and all that, it's like, yo, this is not a goddamn state charge. This is a RICO charge. His lawyers are coming back eating. They ate Cassie last week. I mean, they was coming back at Cassie, his lawyers. They didn't even bring their witnesses on the stand yet. Come on. They didn't even bring their full clip yet on the stand, meaning Diddy lawyers. The escort from last week said that, nah, it was Cassie that wanted me to do this and that. That shit backfired on them last week. Now they put Dawn on the stand. Backfired on him again because Dawn lied to the prosecutor several years with different stories. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Dude is a demon, bro. Dude is a demon. That dude was possessed with some kind of demon, man. He's possessed with some kind of demon. Want to be in all this red, this dark rooms with the music blasting. It had to be a certain temperature. You know, a certain type of music for the vibration they were saying. Come on, bro. And I don't care what nobody say, man. And like, when people still talk and keep on talking, if that priest ever come out and he talking, if people keep talking, you'll find out that a lot of shit that Gene Deal has said has been the truth and nothing but the truth. I was there. I was there when that priest or whoever he was rubbed that stuff on his head, put his hand on top of him, told him to grab the bird out the cage, the white dove, and he threw the dove in the air, and the dove acted like he ain't have no wings and hit the fucking ground. Boom! That motherfucker started walking my way. I'm looking like this, bro. I'm like,
now we all know about the demon part and all that. Like I told you, allegedly, there's levels to this shit when you're in that industry. Ladders to the shit you gotta climb up to. Doors you gotta enter when you gotta be in there, allegedly. So there's narrative, rumors, stories. We all hear about that. We all hear about that. But see, my thing is, before I get out of here, Cassie, she ain't gonna take the stand no more. So I hope y'all think she's not, she's done. That first week she did, she's done. Hey, she's done. She's not taking the stand no more. Cassie, see, the criminal part supposed to come from Cassie's story. of her knowing that Diddy's putting things in people's drink, knowing that he's putting things in them baby oils. Who's the people that's going to come on the stand and tell us them stories? I sit back and wait on that. Because when I sit back and think about it, if anybody going to know that type of situation, it's going to be the one that's actually close to him the most, and that's Cassie. Cassie played a big role with them free calls and all that because she allegedly was bringing females also to the party. And she was having little free calls of herself also with the evidence that we seen last week. She participated in a lot of this stuff. But see, the criminal part that if I was the prosecutor and I'm the jury, I want to hear the story that he allegedly spicing the drinks and the baby oil supposed to be some type of drug and this and that and the third. Cassie would know about that. Am I lying? I'm going to sit back and wait on that. She would absolutely know about that shit because Cassie was the main squeeze, nigga, of Diddy, nigga, throughout them years, nigga. Who we seen in them red carpets? Who we seen at the award shows? Who we seen all the time in them big events? With Diddy? Cassie. And allegedly the free calls happened after the events, right? That was the third shift party. That's the after party. So you telling me Cassie just went home after that? Yeah, Diddy, I'm tired. I'm going home. That's what y'all telling me, right? She just went home after award shows is over, right? Let's cut the shenanigans out here. Now y'all got a better picture of what I'm trying to explain to y'all. I hope y'all watch this video all the way to the end. Because Cassie would absolutely know about the criminal activities that Diddy was doing. She's supposed to be the star witness of that shit. Who else? Who else they gonna bring up there? Kim Porter's not here. Nah, Smoke, there might be some co-workers and this and that. Man, you would believe Cassie more than you believe some co-workers or anybody that worked under Diddy. I sit back and wait. And the reason why I say you will believe her more, because she went through the abuse. She went through the verbal abuse. She went through her career when she got lied to. She went through all the shit with Diddy, free calls, everything, got turned out to the free calls and drugs. All that shit because she was hanging with Diddy. So who was best to know about the criminal activities that Diddy was doing more? It would be Cassie. It would be her, y'all. She know about everything. So I'm telling you, right now, she's probably giving birth to her child. God bless. She's not taking a stand no more after this. She's done. So she just went on the stand and talked about domestic shit. That's it. Nothing criminal. She know about the criminal activities, man. Y'all not gonna sit here and act like y'all that, No, we not doing that over here. No. That was his main squeeze. What are we talking about here, man? That was his party girl. That was his freak off girl. That was everything. Let me walk down the red carpet. There's pictures of him walking with her and Kim Porter. Am I lying? Before I get out of here, you ain't gonna see Cassie on the stand no more talking about the criminal activities, which she should be the main witness of all that shit because she's the main squeeze and the main girl that witnessed everything that allegedly they say that Diddy did and did to people, whatever, in the parties. With the spiced drinks and all this shit that we supposed to be getting later on in the trial. Y'all telling me Cassie ain't the main person that know about this shit. Think about that. I sit back and wait. She went through everything else. Everything we heard of her, what she told us last week. But she didn't bring up nothing that all the drugs, the spice, the oil thing, the baby oil supposed to be some type of drug on it. Remember all the rumors and the narrative we heard about it? You telling me she ain't know about that shit? I'm out of here. Comment below. Give me y'all smoke. Give me y'all opinion. If they know, they know, man. It's your boy Smoke Lose TV, man. This is crazy. It's going to get more crazy. Salute, gang. I'm out of here.